Hi, and welcome to my Tuesday evening live card making tutorial. This evening I have for you a charming card because I'm using the Charming Day bundle. It's one of the July online exclusives release products just released today, and it is so pretty and you will like it. So let me start by introducing myself. I'm Shelley Godby, and for 24 years, I've been teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles through my YouTube videos, my Stamping Smiles blog, and my mailing list. All right, so let's have a look at not just the bundle, but the whole sweet collection. And there we go. And so we have the Charming Day stamp set. Aren't these really pretty? I wouldn't be surprised if, I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised if my artist Claire did this because it sure looks like something she would do. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we've got some greeting. Thanks for being you. Happy birthday. Can't wait to see you again soon. You made my day. And hey, and that cracks me up. And I can tell you about that in a little bit. And then we have the coordinating dies. So look, we have the open dies to die cut the images, right? Turn that. And so this is pictured at actual size to die cut here for this, that, for that. And then we have these intricate dies that, this is a beautiful bundle. I will be playing with this again for sure. And so I'll have to start to use those. But this evening, I'm using these open dies and we'll get to do some coloring. And so I have my um, dies stored on one of these magnet cards that I get at Stampin' Storage. Super strong magnets. You won't lose them. So it keeps me beautifully organized, or at least my dies. And so much easier than try and put them back on that piece of cardstock with the tape. Yeah, I'm not good about that. Usually I pull most of the tape off when doing it. And then you slide it into one of these storage pockets. Now, I've got the QR codes here and the links under the video because this is a separate company from Stampin' Up. It sounds like Stampin' Up, but it is not. But they have products to get your crafting supplies and your entire craft room organized like crazy. So let's go back to the Floral Charm Suite collection. So it includes the bundle, and in the bundle, when you buy the stamp set and the dies together using the bundle item number, you save 10% on both. And so Sweet Collections include the bundle discount, but then it also includes all the coordinating products. And look at this gorgeous paper. And this is the Floral Charm 12 by 12 designer series paper. So I have side A and side B, so we don't have to flip them over. Aren't these beautiful? So you've got your cool colors, you have your warm colors, and if you follow me, you know pink roses are my favorite. But you know what? This paper, they're all so pretty, but this one, like, woo, isn't that pretty? Very, very pretty paper. All right, so, and I will be using one of these this evening. And so the name of the suite is always the name of the designer series paper. So it's the Charming Day bundle, but the Floral Charm Suite collection. Also included in this is the petal pink. Okay, braided, right? Braided trim, 5/16 braided trim. And all these can be purchased separately. It's just the Suite collection. You get the bundle discount and pick up everything with just one item number. Saves you time. And the Charming Shimmer Faceted Dots. And they do shimmer. Look at that. So Petal Pink, Berry Burst, and Night of Navy. Beautiful, beautiful Suite collection. Okay. So let me take that off and let's see who has checked in with us. I'm sure somebody has. Let's see. All right, let's come over here. All right. Oh, Miss Adelaide is here. Hello, hello, hello. And Miss Bonnie B. And Miss Danette. Oh, and Miss Tammy. Oh, this is so fun. All right. Good, good, good. Oh, and Miss Jeannie. All right. So, and a couple of them have already said they've given my video a thumbs up and a share, and I always appreciate that. And please do I think I can come in a little bit closer because I'll be stamping. All right, and so what I have here is some basic white cardstock. Whenever you're stamping on white cardstock, I can't recommend highly enough the basic white cardstock. It has a smooth, tight finish to give you crisp, clean images. And it's amazing when you stamp on good stuff compared to the inexpensive. It's just the differences of night and day. So I'm going to use the Tuxedo Black Momentum ink pad because I'll be coloring with the Stampin' Blends, and you need that. If you use, they don't work with every, I didn't believe it. I thought, oh, come on. I don't remember what kind of pad I tried it with. Yeah, my lines of the stamped image disappear. So, yep, you really do want to use the Memento ink pad. And I thought for sure this is the first one I would use because I do love roses. And then I was looking through their samples just to get some, some ideas, and fell in love with one of them. And I'm doing it, but with a color change. I'm switching it up. Theirs was warm and mine is going to be cooler. So there we go. We're almost done with stamping, just one thing a little bit later. So what I need is my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine, which I happen to have right here. There we go. Boy, is this handy. And so with that handle, you just pick it up and take it where you need it. But then look how the platform folds down. And then, so, it doesn't take as much space. It is a really good thing. Oh, I have one more thing to show you on a QR code. So I could use plate number 1 and plate number 2, but instead I'm going to use the magnetic platform. And I picked this up on Amazon. And see those little circles? Those are the magnets. And so the thin middle dies will cling to that. So I won't need adhesive or anything else. And as you, I'm sure, have seen, I am not perfect using this, but I am definitely a lot better. And when I do a better job die cutting, it saves time and cardstock. And probably more important, time, right? All right, so we'll put, and then, oh, I just did it without saying anything. So we've got our magnetic platform or plate number 1 and 2 that come with it, because you need to get to the right thickness. And then we need a plate number 3, which is a cutting plate, and then our cardstock and our lovely dies. And I like to drop it on there so the die finds a magnet, because I don't know if you've ever used a magnetic platform, but sometimes you're chasing around because the magnet will pull it. So I just let the die find the magnet. Okay. I can't quite see from here. I think that looks, not confident. I need to be able to stand up and do this. All right, and you know what? That one will need to be done separately because I stamped those pretty close. I wouldn't be able to fit the die on there. And then I need another plate number 3. And so rotate your plates, because I'm on camera, and often, even though I shouldn't, I end up going to the center. You don't want to be in the center all the time. Move all around, and that helps to keep your plates from warping. And rotate them. Cut on both sides. Rotate, move all around. Okay. So that number 3 is just important. We have the right plate, not that the number of the plate is in the upper right corner. And, oh my goodness. All right. I don't mean to sound shocked, but wow, I did a good job. Okay, so let's do this and grab the other one. Yeah, this is going to be fun to use, these intricate ones. And, oh, there we go. That's a nice tunk. Okay. So this card is really quite easy. Like I said, I thought for sure I'd be using the other one, but this flower it's simple and simply stunning. Okay. All right. So let's see how I did. Okay. I am just surprising myself all over the place this evening. I had a couple cut just in case. All right, and we'll slide this right back into that pocket. And wonderful. And clean up our workspace. And then we can do some coloring. And the Stampin' Blends, I don't know if you've used them yet or not, but wow, they just make me so happy. I feel like they just make me look like I'm this color extraordinaire, and I don't have any specific training whatsoever, but just the way they blend and shade make us look pretty doggone good. Okay, so what I have here is some more basic white cardstock, and I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper underneath me because I will be stamping off the edge. And I will use this stamp, oh, both of them actually that we just used, to create a background. And whenever you're doing that, generally, I mean, it's almost always a rule when you're creating a background that you want to go off the edge. You don't want everything to fit um, within, the piece, because it looks odd. And think of wrapping paper. You cut wrapping paper wherever it needs to be. If it cuts Snoopy right in half, so be it, because and that's that seamless look. So think about that when you're stamping. So back with our Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad, and these July online exclusives. This is just one. This suite collection. There are 3 full suite collections, but there's so much more. I mean, an amazing, amazing offering of products. You will love it. And I've got a link under the video to go um, to go find those, because you really have to check them out. They won't be in any publication. Uh, these are released online only, and in July, it's not tied with a catalog. And then when we have our holiday catalog, which they'll call the September through December, um, I'm sure some online exclusives will be released with that too. But this every other month in between catalog releases, they're released by themselves. Okay. And so you just really want to make sure you're checking that out. You don't want to miss out. So I'm rotating too. So we're creating a background. We went off the edge and see how seamless that looks, and rotate it. Rotate your stamp. And let me grab this one. Come in here. Oh, okay. And you know what? That'll get covered up. On my sample piece, I was a little further away than I cared to be. So I thought, well, I'm going to try to get closer, but I'm pretty sure it'll be just fine because it'll get covered with that rose that we just die cut, or the flower. I don't know what kind of flower it is. Almost looks like an apple blossom, but I don't know that's true. Okay. And wow, I mean, just such a variety. And so you've got Halloween. You got a head start on Halloween. And it's so cute. It's not spooky scary. It's just so adorable, the Halloween offerings. And we have a whole suite of that. And there's Christmas, and just a really nice variety. And this isn't Christmas, but we've got a really good variety that you'll want to go check out. Okay, and one more. Let's come up over here. And so, like I said, you rotate the stamp. Unless maybe perhaps you were doing a greeting that you wanted to do all over, but that you'd still go off the edge. But rotating, you get a beautiful, beautiful background. Okay. And I'm following their sample, and what they did, this, only part of it got colored. And so what I have here is the light peach pie. And it was a nice change from yellow, because I usually grab Daffodil Delight or Barely Banana is what keeps coming to mind. I know that's not it. Or really soft yellow. I shouldn't have even said what I was thinking. And I know it too. Um, It just went out of my head. I know what that one is. Okay, I'm just gonna have to look now. Oh, lemon lolly. I couldn't see it from here, but lemon lolly. Like, Shelly. Okay, so, and then I have mossy meadow. Now, that is one of the colors in the DSP. I'm not using any DSP that has that color, but I just thought it looked really nice with the nice rich colors. Okay, so let's do some coloring here. And so I've got the mossy meadow, dark and the light. And it's a lot of fun playing with these. And if you want really awesome shading, work in a small area. So I will be doing one petal at a time, because if you can grab a line before it dries, things blend in better. And then I'm doing something, I'm going to want to do a lot more now that I've done this. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Michelle. All right. And the color lifter, just lightening this up a bit. It's like, okay, playing with this all afternoon, I'm now addicted to it. And I think you'll see me using it a lot more. All right, but you see if we can, like I said, move quickly. But if I went and you did all the dark first and then came back, the ink would be a lot drier or dry, and you just don't get quite the same with the blending. And the vein. And usually I start with the lighter color and add the shading. I don't know why today is different. It doesn't matter, but which you do, whatever floats your boat. You just get into a habit, right? Okay. And certainly don't need perfection, which is nice. And, I've been trying to learn not to fill every white space, and I think that's what the color lifter is doing for me. And it'll be a little bit more obvious in a bit when it does its little magic. Okay. Boy, it's tough when those old names stick in your head, right? Because I pick up Mossy Meadow, and now I can't think of it, but the other one, oh, Always Artichoke came to mind. And so sometimes when I'm working on other things, I get a little distracted and the old names come out like, ruh-roh. All right, so these are a lot smaller, but I'm still going to do a little bit of shading. And so tomorrow, when this video is done uploading to HD, I will have a link to my blog post with all of the measurements, as well as a PDF that you can download and save that includes, whoops, there, I wanted the dark one, includes the card sketch. And so I'll have that link there tomorrow. Let's lighten that bad boy up. And playing with this afternoon, because things have been a little hectic around here, and getting to sit and color, it was just so peaceful. It's like, oh, it just does your heart good, doesn't it? Like, all right, just that calming effect, because you need to slow down when you're coloring. And I'm really good about rushing everywhere. Got long legs and walk fast and talk fast. I don't think my long legs have anything to do with the talking fast, but oh, there it went. Okay. And okay, so let me grab, my lid went flying. Let's go ahead and close these. Oh, you know what? I'm going to use those again in a bit. All right. But instead of having you sit here with me all night, I have this all colored. And, I showed you how I did them, and I just went ahead and repeated and kept doing the same thing. So now for this one, this was fun because this gets a lot more color. And we will continue with our Mossy Meadow. Let's do this smaller one first. And so you have to tell me, do you usually start with the lighter color or the darker color? This is so small. I think I can move quickly enough. doing more than one petal on something this small. Do you usually start with the light color and shade, or do you start with the shade and then and I wish I could tell you why I did things differently this evening. I don't know. And I think I got busy talking and didn't pay attention, but hey, nothing new there. All right. I'm trying to remember all the stuff in the oh gosh, there's oh, you start with the lighter. Okay, Miss Cheryl. Yeah, that's my norm. Um, in those online exclusives, there's I think it's called prairie uh, grass. Oh, gonna be so beautiful for silhouette cards. All right, so while we've got all this going, let's continue, and then we will do our flower. Aren't you glad I finished coloring that ahead of time? And so, oh, we'll be using that stamp, hey, and it tickled me because one of the times that I lived in Texas, because with my husband's work, I've lived all over the country, and Texas 4 times, and had a friend, you call and that's how she'd answer the phone, "Hey, hey," and I came home doing that. My mom laughed, and so my friend is now passed on, but it made me think of her today, and that was a lot of fun because the family, took us in. We had some place to go for the holidays, and more than that, which is nice because when we're on the road by ourselves, you're a couple thousand miles from home, you don't necessarily get home for the holidays. And it was nice to be part of a family, and they made us part of their family. So I have a lot of affection thinking about that hay today. Diane, what a sweetheart. All right. We certainly aren't going to do any harm by using the lighter when you meant to use the dark, because you can always go back and add again, right? And there are times where if you would prefer the shading not to be quite as deep, you can use, oh, for Peter's sakes, I did it again. You can use the one of the colors and just layer on top, because when you put color on top of color, it does get deeper. Yeah, it is great memories. I miss that part now that Jim's not with me anymore. That part of my life of traveling is over, and I loved it. Got to see what a beautiful country we have and beautiful people in our country, and so I have to say I do miss that. I never knew where we were going to be. Okay, I'm not done with this. Okay, and so instead of the warmth that they used, bubble bath is not part of it, but it's going to go beautiful with my Blackberry Bliss. This isn't that pattern pretty? That's one of my favorite things, right? It's a tone on tone going on. So the petal pink is going to be just beautiful. And in their sample, because like I said, I'm taking theirs and I'm done with this. And I just changed up the colors. Not that I didn't think theirs was lovely. All right, so I'm going to continue with the dark first for whatever reason. Consistency, something, huh? Okay. And I try to resist coloring in every little bit. It's hard, but that's where that color lifter is going to be. Okay, as I try so hard and I keep coloring. Because I did that one with oh the mixed florals, and looking at the DSP, and they left quite a bit of it uncolored, and it was just stunning. Like, ooh, I need to learn to back off and not think every little bit needs colored in. And it would depend on the stamp, I'm sure. But isn't this pretty? These, It's not all fully closed lines. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So like I said, I don't know if Miss Claire is the designer of this, but I sure would not be surprised. Okay, so we have a little bit of stamping to do. Speaking of, hey, Miss Gail jumped in late. Oh, what is the name of the DSP? The name of the DSP is Floral Charm. Beautiful, beautiful paper. Here, there you go. Miss Gail got here a little late. Is this gorgeous or what? Beautiful paper. And this is, there we go, the back side of this one. So I think all of these, look, if you fold them, will work together, and they do. And they often do, because there are some pretty cool cards that you can do a fold, and when it works like that, I love it. And it does, I'd say, maybe 90% of the time, not always, but that's a fun thing to be able to do. And so all of these have that coordinating back, that's a lot more neutral. All right, and so, because I just colored with Bubble Bath, you're welcome, Miss Gail. I'm going to stamp on some bubble bath too. Ooh. And back with the Tuxedo Black Memento ink pad and our hey. No, that's not how she said it. Hey. Oh, goodness. She was a girl from Tennessee and had some fun sayings. And there we go. Hey for Miss Diane. Okay, so our stamping is done. Now we get to put it all together. And so what I have here is basic white thick cardstock for our card base. Look how happy that is. Hey, Miss Julie. Okay, Miss Julie from Ohio, just south of me. And cut this to fit the full thing. And so, you know what? Usually I put the adhesive, oh, look at that. Usually I put the adhesive on the piece I'm about to, that I'm adhering, because, if this didn't fit on there fully, I'd be afraid to get adhesive out too far. But in this case, since it's fully covering it, I'm going to go ahead and put it on the base. This is the exception to my rule. It usually goes on the piece that's to be layered, just so I don't make a mistake. You don't have to follow my rule. It's just my own little rule. All right, so let's... And by using the white base, then the inside is white, which is nice. And then I was going to have this done because I was afraid something like this might happen. I thought, nope, we'll do it together. There we go. So you sure don't want any white peeking out. That would not be attractive. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then, isn't this pretty already? And that's just left white. Oh, Miss Roxanne made it. Hello. All right, and back with my Stampin' Seal. And on this I did a lot more because, it was covering the whole thing. But generally, 1 inch in each corner is just plenty. And there we go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Our hay, let's put some Stampin' Seal on the back. You can slide that in. That needs to go to the edge right there. Great. And some more Stampin' Seal on here. So it's an exciting day with the new July online exclusives. Just so many goodies. Is just amazing. All right, and then my favorite adhesive ever, Stampin' Dimensionals. So let's get in here and grab a couple. So these are foam adhesive dots, and I just love these. They're not too thick, not too thin, and they're cushy. 'Cause sometimes, you know, I've seen some that are really hard. These are nice and cushy and soft and just look oh so good. And we'll rotate this. See, I told you I'd end up, where'd I hit that? Oh, I don't know where that went to. I thought I touched something. Oh, that was on my other one. Ha ha ha. Okay, but still, see, this would have covered it up. Okay, this is the one I already had. Yeah, it would have covered up where I was trying to get nice and close and got a little bit too close. All right, and tuck this in. Isn't that pretty with the contrast against the Blackberry Bliss? All right, and then the dimensional. When I first started, I didn't have the dimensional behind it, and then like, oh, that changed everything. And then for our finishing touch, I have the rainbow adhesive back dots, and Bubble Bath is one of the colors. So I always press down on the embellishment so the adhesive sticks to the embellishment and not to this acetate sheet. And as you can guess, that has happened to me before. So a small one, and then a large one, and a small one. And grandma always said odd numbers, so we'll stop at 3, because then we would need 5, and 3 is just right. And there we go. One of the sample cards from the online store, because they're only pictured online, in a different color palette. And I just thought that was so pretty, I just had to make it myself. So there we go, with an accidental nod to my friend and thinking of her today, Miss Diane. Well, thank you, Miss Gail. Yeah, I really like that. Okay. Oh, Miss Roxanne was here, but it wouldn't let her comment. Well, I'm so glad it did. Well, thank you, Miss Shirley, Miss Bonnie B. Yeah. And so, you know, even though there are colors in some of the designer series paper, it doesn't mean we always have to use just those colors to use the paper. And because, wow, you know, that bubble bath complements the Blackberry Bliss just beautifully. And there it is. Brand new today, the Charming Day bundle with lots of possibilities. You'll have to go look at their other samples on there, and there's one that's super fancy with all kinds of the die cuts. I thought, ooh, that'd be fun to make too. So there we go. It almost feels like a casual Friday because my card was so simple, but it's just simply pretty, isn't it? And there's just a lot of elegance in simplicity. And so, and as I said, tomorrow I'll have a link to my blog post with all the measurements. So you don't have to try to guess, you know, how big is that piece and all that. I'll have that all with that downloadable PDF that'll include the card sketch. And all the supplies are listed right now, if you're watching on YouTube, below my video, or if you're watching on my blog, and everything when I came on was available to order, and oh, so pretty. Okay, so let's do this. There we go. And I'm going to play around here a little bit. Let's get rid of that so I can put the chat up and be able to see you in the chat all at the same time. There we go. All right. Well, thank you, Miss Danette. You all are all so sweet. And so, yep, online exclusives, brand new batch. And wow, like I said, Christmas and Halloween and fall. I don't know if there was, you know, I mean, something Thanksgiving-ish, but not necessarily just Thanksgiving. And and so much more and in between, including like this Charming Day bundle and the Floral Charm Suite collection. Wow, wow, wow. Well, oh, Miss Cheryl, thank you so much. I'm so glad you got your power back and you can join us again. And so, I don't know if there are any other questions, and thank you for the help with the lemon lolly as my brain just froze right up. Shouldn't purposely say an old name and then get stuck like that. So it is that time. I thank you for joining me. I am here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with a live card making tutorial. I'm Shelley Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Good evening and God bless.